So I quickly wanted to give my take on this PewDiePie stuff, because some of the stuff I've been seeing online has really been bugging me just about the general issues. So if you don't know, and some of my subscribers might not know, PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber on the platform. He mainly does gaming videos, but he has also had numerous racist controversies. So he made 2 people on stream hold up a sign saying "kill all Jews." He recommended white supremacist channels. He had Ben Shapiro on his channel as well, and I think Ben Shapiro is at least a part of the pipeline to the alt-right. If not, he is alt-right himself. He also screamed about the N-word on stream in a moment of anger, so it really seems like it's his true colours showing. And he's had all that stuff happen, but really it's only made him more popular, and he should probably ask himself that. Ask himself why that mass shooter talked about subscribing to PewDiePie. Ask himself why his fans are so racist. It's maybe because you've had numerous racist controversies that you make into a joke. You call it an epic gamer moment. You call it an oopsie. You make it so funny. And to your legions of teenage fans, you're making all this stuff, you know, hilarious. You're making the Holocaust funny. You're making all this type of stuff funny to them. And especially to younger people who don't have either the knowledge or have family that maybe fought in World War II, because I sometimes forget we're getting to a new generation where people grew up without knowing anyone who fought in World War II, for example. So my generation, we knew people who fought in World War II. You can kind of have that personal connection to it. But if you're 14, 10 years away, most of that generation, they might be your great-grandparents. They might be dead now. You might not know any people like that. So your only exposure to World War II is sort of just some distant war in the past that no one you've ever met lived through. So when someone starts talking about how funny the Holocaust is, funny the Nazis are, that's your experience of them. You think it's funny too, and especially impressionable young kids like a lot of his fans. So recently, the new controversy is he said he would donate $50,000 to the Anti-Defamation League. He got a massive backlash from his fans, extremely anti-Semitic, you know, reasons why they were mad, basically saying the Jews were pulling the strings, the Jews were controlling him. Then he said he was going to pull the donation. He wasn't going to give it anymore. What did he wear when he announced this? Oh, a shirt with an iron cross on it. Now, I know an iron cross is not, you know, a universal symbol of the Nazis or the German military, for example, because the German military still use an iron cross today. The iron cross he was wearing looked like the cross of St. John. Now, the cross of St. John was primarily used by the Knights of St. John, who set up their home in Malta, and today the Maltese flag has that symbol on it. Also, the St. John's ambulance in England also has that cross on it. However, that doesn't get him off the hook, and people are saying it's a Georgian cross. Okay, whatever. If you were talking about anti-Semitism, if you're talking about Jews, if you're talking about all that stuff, and you have a history of being super insensitive about it, maybe don't wear a symbol that is linked to the German military in World War II. The people who carried out one of the worst genocides of all time, and obviously it was targeting mainly the Jews. Maybe don't wear that. Maybe when you look at yourself in the mirror or look at your wardrobe that day, don't think, I'm going to wear the shirt with the iron cross on it when I talk about Jews. Also, another part of that, a lot of, obviously, the Crusades also targeted Jews on the way to the Holy Land. It has links to historic anti-Semitism, that sort of cross. And you using that also galvanises members of the alt-right in your fan base, because they love the Crusader memes. They love the Deus Vult stuff. They love Pepe the Frog wearing a Crusader outfit with, of course, a cross on it. You probably know that. And I'm super sceptical of this whole thing, because I'm thinking, surely he knows this. Surely he knows his fan base are pretty toxic with this stuff. Surely he knows his fan base don't care about anti-Semitism and would probably be mad about this. So I'm thinking this is a controversy that he created. I think he knew he would get this response. And it kind of serves as him being like, I tried to help anti-Semitism, look what I did. Oh no, my fan base had such a reaction. They educated me. I didn't research the Anti-Defamation League enough, because once I researched it, I found out all this bad stuff about it. But I'm not going to give you any specific reasons because I probably don't have any. It's probably just because my racist fans put pressure on me. Because can you have problems with the Anti-Defamation League? Sure you can. Do I have problems with them? Yes, there are some I have. For example, they've smeared Ilhan Omar and Jeremy Corbyn for criticising Israel. That's a problem I have with them. They've given seminars in Israel to Americans about how to militarise their police force. I have a problem with that as well. Did PewDiePie say he had a problem with any of this stuff? Do you think PewDiePie cares about the ADL smearing Jeremy Corbyn and Ilhan Omar? You know for a fact he doesn't care about that. Do his fans care about that? You know there is barely one fan out of his millions that cares about that. None of them, for the most part, are left-wing. None of them care about left-wing politics like that. The only reason they care about the ADL is because they're Jewish, and that's why that's got them in such a frenzy. It's not because they care about the ADL's controversies. They don't care about the stuff I've mentioned. They would never care. If I said that to them, they would probably like Israel. It's like these weird Christians. You remember my video on them? These weird Christians who don't like Jews, but they love Israel. It's because they think Israel is key to bring about the end of the world. I wouldn't be surprised if lots of his fans felt the same way about the ADL. They probably don't like Jews, but they probably like Israel, so they probably wouldn't agree with me in terms of I don't agree with everything they do because of their stance on people like Jeremy Corbyn. But it doesn't mean they don't do some good work. Doesn't mean that their $50,000 could go to some, good causes. And I would love PewDiePie to expand on what his problem is with them. I'd love to know what specifically is his problem with them. I doubt it's anything I've said. I doubt he can probably even bring up a legit criticism from his side of the political spectrum. And let's not pretend he's left-wing or anything like he portrays himself. Sometimes like he's some tolerant guy. He is sympathetic in some ways to the alt-right. That is clear. Because no one who is not sympathetic to them has this many racist controversies and courts their support so much. I think the cross on his shirt was a dog whistle to them, saying, it's all right, I'm on your side, really. You're my real fans. I think that. Because there is no way a sane, rational person who has some introspection and critical thought looks at that and thinks, I'm going to wear this Iron Cross. I am totally oblivious to the possible connotations of what this could mean. Maybe the one time you wear this shirt in a massive way, I think he's worn it on stream before, maybe don't do it on the video you're talking about the ADL and anti-Semitism. It's just totally crazy. So I don't have any sympathy for him. In my opinion, there's a reason why Nazis love him, because he sanitizes this part of history. He makes the Holocaust funny to kids. He makes all this sort of racism funny to kids. He helps indoctrinate them in this sort of politics. He pushed them down to Ben Shapiro. And you can see these pyramids that show the pipeline from people like Joe Rogan. Then you go to Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. Then you go even further down the pipeline until you're a full-fledged Nazi. He's part of that. He's a gateway to that sort of thinking. I have no doubt in my mind. And he is not apologetic for it. He's said numerous times he's going to distance himself away from the Nazi stuff, away from the anti-Semitism, away from all this controversy. He's matured, he's grown up. But then you say you're going to donate money to the ADL, pull it while wearing an Iron Cross on your shirt. See, he hasn't learned. And it's ridiculous as well. For someone on YouTube who gets my content, and including this video, of course it will, gets all his videos demonetized, I don't care about the money, but it doesn't put me in the algorithm as much as it should because of people like PewDiePie. Because I can't talk about this stuff because they see it as too controversial, because they're scared people are going to do stuff like he does. Shout out white supremacist channels, shout out the N-word, tell people to hold up signs saying kill all Jews, make jokes about the Holocaust all the time, wear an Iron Cross while talking about anti-Semitism. See? He ruins it for everyone else. And he's a millionaire. He's, the king of YouTube. Whatever. Nothing's really going to affect him. I'm sure he has contacts in YouTube that will get all his videos monetized regardless. But at the same time, there are loads of people who make a living on YouTube that basically just pays for, their food, accommodation, things like that. It just pays for their life. It's not, a business that makes him loads of money, but it is their job still. He ruins it for people like them. and people like me who want to grow a YouTube channel a bit more, because I just can't get my videos monetized in a timely manner. For example, this is going to go up straight away. I could get this reviewed, maybe it would get monetized. It would take about 2 days to review it though, and then by then it's irrelevant. So you see my problem with PewDiePie, and he created the first adpocalypse, and he will no doubt probably create another one soon when, you know, people catch on to the biggest YouTuber being part of the gateway to the alt-right. And I have no problem in saying that. So all you edgy 14-year-old kids who think he's some great memer, some great hero, hopefully you grow out of it. But I really fear for this generation, or the next generation, because they get indoctrinated so young. You know, there weren't people like PewDiePie around when I was 14. YouTube wasn't the same as it is now. And I am really scared that it's just going to keep indoctrinating loads of kids in this toxic culture. And I get so disappointed that unlike movies, unlike TV shows, that video games in general is just such a cesspool. And there's such a, you know, the people who make video games are really representative of the general population. There's lots of diversity in there. There's lots of LGBT people in there. But the people who consume it are just so toxic. It's just not surprising that this many white supremacists and anti-Semites love PewDiePie. And people like Yongye, people like Angry Joe, who seem like better people than PewDiePie, even their fan bases are completely toxic. Look at Angry Joe try and talk about Trump. Look at Yongye interview Jason Schreier from Kotaku, who is a Jew. Go read the comments on that video and you'll see what I mean. Perhaps they've been moderated now, but when it first came out, they were super anti-Semitic. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. If you want to find me on social media, follow me at The Cavernacle on both Twitter and Instagram. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.